Slavkovsky scored.
On his
It's his
birthday.
birthday today.
Yeah.
Aw, that's so nice. I love when they do that. When I'm like, oh my God, you got a goal. Happy birthday.
Speaking of birthday, Rucker McGroarty playing on a line with Sidney Crosby for
I
his
know,
birthday. That's
literally. I'm hoping
crazy.
they leave him there. If they don't, I will personally show up. I can't personally show up to Pittsburgh in half an hour, but I would put up a fight. I would put up a fight.
Like a last minute flight from Newark, and you're like, I need to
First
go.
off, it would take me an hour to get to the airport, and then
This
however
is,
long that flight is, so it still would not work out. Time
can we,
traveling.
I need us to stop, like, AI art. It's one, it's not art. Two,
True.
get rid of it. If
Teleportation instead.
teleportation instead. Like, I
So
think that we need
helpful.
to reprioritize our technological advances here because AI sucks for like 98% of things.
Yes.
Um, and yeah.
So
I saw a
real.
TikTok of someone doing an interview and he literally like was like asking ChatGPT to answer the question. And I'm sure it was like a skit,
Oh
but
wait,
I'm
I think I
like,
saw that. Whereas like it was sitting here, like his phone was next to the microphone, and the person was like, "Oh, can you share your screen or whatever?"
yeah.
Yeah.
But like
Anyway, I would
I hate
appreciate if it
AI. I
was
hate it. Just
teleportation, because then I
yeah,
can just go
teleportation would be good.
places.
Like one good thing that JKR came up with in her time was apparating.
Yeah,
That
I
would be
take it.
great.
Any form of it.
A
I
flu
would just,
network,
yeah,
I'll take it. I would
anything.
love to be able to get from point A to point B without having to sit in my car for 5 hours.
Yes. And like waste time. Like if it
Yes.
was instant, even if it was like faster, I would
Like
I
if
would take it.
okay,
Goodbye.
but like on that line, we need more high-speed railways in this country.
Yes. There's a lot of things that we could be
I
doing.
will blame Robert Moses till the day that I die. Thank you, Katie, for that one. But oh, I hate that man. Why? This is a hockey podcast. Welcome.
Welcome
Uh,
back.
I just wish we had more trains because like it's so frustrating to go like when American
No, I agree.
Airlines got rid of their like free baggage thing and Amtrak was like, we do free baggage and everyone's like, yeah, but it's $300 to go from like New York to Baltimore and it takes
Literally.
7 hours. Like, come on.
Just go fast.
Go faster.
There's speed.
It exists in Asia. I need it to exist here.
I know. You know how sick that'd be though? I would eat that
I
up. I think it'd be
I
fun.
would love to have high-speed trains in this country. It would
Next up.
literally
Next up. Bring it this is what we want. This is
like
the
you know
only
how
thing we're
like
requesting.
three genie wishes? Like there are a lot of
Yeah.
things that I'd be like,
That's one of them you would wish for.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, iconic.
Like if it
Because
had to
honestly,
be
it
like
benefits you, but then like you get to use it forever.
yeah, but
And then
like
other people get to use it.
well, because if like I
Benefit of
don't know how
humanity.
genies work, but I feel like a lot of the things that I want to happen, you couldn't ask for
Okay. I
based
mean, I
on
think it's
like
supposed to be anything.
no, there are rules. Have you seen Aladdin?
Yeah.
There are rules.
But like,
Certain things that I would like to wish
okay.
for, I would not be allowed to wish for. And certain things that I think I would also like to wish for, I think would go hand in hand with those things.
Okay, so you can't, yeah.
Like
High
I just
speed
want everyone to
trains.
be nice to each other, and I have a feeling that like you'd have to like
There's a lot involved.
yeah.
There's a lot involved with that.
Speaking of technology, have you watched Severance yet?
No, I keep
Okay,
seeing it everywhere.
I
Okay,
haven't seen it
I'm
either.
very, very bad at watching TV
I
shows.
know.
It took me almost 2 years to watch Gilmore Girls in full. Because
2 years. Oh, like to
yes,
literally
like
like
over a
point it.
span of me watching on Netflix because I watch too many sports and I always end up watching said sport over watching whatever's on Netflix.
Yeah,
And then I'm like, oh,
I don't think I ever like exist in silence. I
me
watch
too.
Gilmore Girls like 15 times a year.
See, it was my first time through. Like I wanted to watch it. Like I had never watched it before, but it takes me literally forever. So
I think the
I'll get
first
around to it,
time
I guess. But
I think the first time I watched it took me like 4 or 5 months.
okay, it's not
Um,
bad. Yeah, mine's just I like watch one episode and then I forget about it and I come back like 2 months later and then I'm like, oh yeah, we're still watching this. But no, I've heard so much about it, but I have not watched it yet.
I haven't watched it either. I just like I don't know.
Looks good.
Looks very good. Anyways, welcome back to Read Between the Blue Lines. I'm Mackenzie. That's Bree. Some
Hello.
quick housekeeping if you're new here, because we have new people. Like we keep getting more listeners. I don't know why people
I
want to
know it's
listen to
making me
this,
so happy though.
but if you're new here, we are on anywhere that you get your podcasts. We are also available on YouTube if you would like to see our faces. And you will notice that Mackenzie cannot sit still ever. Can
Yeah,
I,
that's okay.
editing this, I watch back and I'm like, you like,
I feel like you don't fidget or move. Maybe I
I
just don't.
do.
Maybe I'm like
It's
used to it.
really bad, actually.
It's okay. It's fine.
Um,
It's fine.
Also, if you could like follow us where you're listening, rate, review, all that lovely
Say
stuff.
hi.
Follow us on socials. We exist on most of them at this point.
Everything at yeah,
Um,
most not everything, but most
most of them.
popular
Yeah.
thought of
Especially because one of them might be getting banned again. So go follow us on all of the other ones because I have
it.
no idea what's happening, and I have no
Who
idea.
knows?
I have no
Who
desire
knows?
to look at like the court notes because I no.
I just wait till someone tells me, and then that's about as far as like I
Yeah.
that would hurt my brain if I tried. I'm sure you could do it, but I could not.
It's like my job to be able to understand it
I know,
actually.
that's what I mean. I'd
Um,
just be like, a lot of professional words, I don't know what this means. Can you tell me like I'm a five? Thank
legalese.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
But
annoying.
yeah, come say hi wherever you're following us or looking for us. We're there.
So wow, okay. As chaotic as the beginning of this is, what's more chaotic is the playoff race in the East.
We're in
Because
the
why
thick of
does
it.
no one want wildcard two?
I I have so many feelings. This happened last year in a similar way, but not as bad. And I'm like, it's gonna be one of those things with the whoever it is, you're kind of like it's like the best loser. And then
Hmm.
whoever that best loser is gonna play the Capitals. And probably I if you make it out of the first round, I would be amazed. But I
Yes and no.
but like if you're that
Because
bad
it
coming down the
depends on
stretch,
no, but it
mm,
depends.
I know,
Because some teams have like a secret switch that they can like flip.
yeah, but like
And I'm not saying it's the Rangers, but what I am saying is that if the Rangers realize that like they are or like they could be the
how
same
close
team
it
that they
is.
were last year,
Yeah.
they could absolutely flip into another gear. And especially if Igor's like on it in the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
if they could just produce the way that they produced against the Sharks.
Yeah. I kind of this is like an unpopular opinion. I kind of want a team that we have not seen in a while in that spot. Whether Camp is Detroit's too far gone. I'm so sorry to Detroit. You had
No,
a
it's
chance.
it's gonna be Columbus or Montreal if we're looking at
Yeah,
teams
like
that
one
haven't
of the
been there in
two
a
of them.
while.
Well, Columbus a little more. Well, just kidding. Like same time. I keep forgetting the Canadians. I'm so also so
It
sorry. You've
doesn't
made it to
count.
I know,
It
but like
doesn't count. It counts. It counts. It
technically
doesn't
it
count though.
does count. I have to count it. Not in like an 82 game season way, but it does count.
But no, but I'm saying if
But
we're looking at it in terms of like strength of teams when you're playing a full
yes,
schedule, like it
I
doesn't count.
think it'd be fun. I think I feel the same way about the West too. Just getting teams in that we haven't seen in the last couple of years just to mix it up a little bit. I don't care if you don't make like if you don't make a run, that's fine. But I think it's just like I saw a graphic the other day about if the playoffs started today, what they would look like, and I was like, same matchup as last year, same one we're gonna see again. And I'm like,
Mhm.
I mix it up. Get some I don't care how you get in there. Go in
The
there
only way that
and
we're mixing up the playoffs enough to make it actually novel is doing a 116.
I know. Could you imagine that? That'd be it would never happen. At least not under
Bettman doesn't
uh,
even want to do a
I
1-8.
know, that's what I mean. But like a 116, I'd be down for that. I'd be feel like, I don't know, but every day I wake up, and not even the same day of waking up, like you can watch three different games on a day, and three different teams are in that spot within the span of 7 hours.
Yep.
I love it. Not so much in the West because the Blues have somehow decided to win 9 games in a row.
I don't. Okay,
Um,
if you're a Bruins fan, I'm
there's so
so
many things
sorry
like
because like how do you Jim Montgomery? Like
that, and now your
mhm.
ex-captain is in Florida. Everybody that's basically left your team is doing well on their other teams. Like,
Dude, Carlo's lighting it up.
I
He looks
know.
good.
I'm like, but it's someone tweeted about it and they were like, it's like, oh, so I forget how they phrased it, but something about how like when your ex is doing better after they leave you or
Did you
something like
see
that.
what Jacob Trouba looks like on the Ducks? That man
Yes,
is glowing.
I know, but I'm like, oh my God, like they just
And same
left
thing
and they're
with
like,
Brock Nelson on the Avs. I'm like, you look 7 years younger.
I know. I
And you've
also
been in
kind of forget
Colorado
he's
for three
there.
weeks.
I literally know, I know he's there, but I'm like, no, you're still
It's
an Islander. But I'm like, no,
it's
you're
because
not.
I did an interview with him and not me. They did an interview with
Oh,
him
oh, oh,
that came
oh,
out
that's right.
weirdly. And like I saw it and I was like,
Hey,
did your grays disappear? Or did you just dye your hair? Like I'm
did
really
you like
confused.
go back in time when
Yeah.
you traveled across the country to get to Colorado? It
Maybe
is
the
really high
higher
in this.
elevation
I
is
was gonna
doing
say it's like 5,000 feet. It's or whatever it is, you know.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I if you're a I always I think we always say we're like, oh my God, it sucks. But like, if you're a Bruins fan, you're I don't even know what how you're still watching if you are.
I don't know that I would. I think they're what are
No,
they like three
they are the
13 and
worst team
1?
in the NHL in the last, I think, since like the end of February. To be worse, again, like not the Sharks, not that the Sharks and like,
No,
well,
but no, no,
Blackhawks
no,
are,
no. But to be worse than the
but that's
Shark.
what I mean. The two worst teams in the league, and
Can you hear
you're,
me?
yes,
Why can't I hear? Okay.
good.
Sometimes I just can't hear myself and it's really annoying.
I can hear you.
All right, yeah. So let's get into it with the wild card in the East, I guess. Chat about it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I think we should. We're running out of time here. Is that why we're pausing?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. The robot voice got me again.
Sorry.
We're gonna like count how many times this thing scares me. Anyway, it's
Um,
like a daily, weekly occurrence.
okay.
Wild card,
So we're gonna talk
wild, wild,
about
wild card.
the wild card. Yeah. Um, I'm gonna pull it up. I
I was like, do you want it
don't.
from today? It can't
No, I have it up already,
change
actually.
anymore today.
Can you see it?
I love the share. Oh, I love these. I literally looked at this today for
Okay.
work because I had to write about Utah making the playoffs with 0.4%. I had to write about that.
I have no idea what like the recording is gonna see because I've never done this before. But so we're looking
It's a
at
pie chart,
a
right?
yeah, but we're looking at a pie chart. Um, that's from Money Puck. I'll have it linked in the show notes if you've never seen it before. Um, so here's the thing. The teams that are fighting for a playoff spot in the East, also this is as of this morning, so this does not take into account the Montreal game that just ended.
Yes.
Um, but so we're looking at in the East, Montreal, the Islanders, the Rangers, the Blue Jackets, and like they have the Red Wings up here, but that's
They have more than Utah. If
they
Utah
do.
0.4%,
But so
anything is possible.
if you're looking at it in the East, so it's listed as 24.6% to make the playoffs for the Habs, 5.9% for the Red Wings, 17.4% for the Blue Jackets, 16.7% for the Islanders, and 36.5% for the Rangers. I would also like to know that the Metropolitan is really the division that is struggling currently.
Mm,
And the Devils are at 99.4% to make the playoffs. If that team does not make the playoffs, I'm pretty sure Prudential Center will be burned down by the fans, but like
very
they
true.
don't seem to want it either.
Yeah.
So I
I also
wouldn't
I'm surprised that in the middle of it all that the Canes have the biggest percentage of winning, like best chance of winning the cup
I don't that
in the middle,
that's so odd to me.
right? I saw it this morning and I was like, wait, where, how, why,
I
or what
definitely
are
think
we?
Dallas, in my opinion, is
That's
okay.
yeah,
I don't think I said this on the podcast. I think I might have said it. Oh, I said it to one of our friends the other night. The West is so stacked that I think when you are looking at it, you might be so dead by the time you get to the final
Mhm.
that you might not
Or
have it. And the
I
East
also
might
think
be just so easy to like
walk
plow
through.
through. And then
Mhm.
like you get to the final and you're like fresh and your team isn't injured and it's not going to be as much of like
It's
an
also
onslaught on your
insane when
body.
you think about it. We were talking about it. Like you're gonna get most likely a Dallas Colorado first round matchup, which means one of them is out in the first round, which is
Is
absolutely insane.
insane.
Like you're
Yeah.
basically two of your top cup contenders in the entire league, not even just in the West. One of them is out in the first
But it's the
round,
same thing in
which
the
is
Atlantic
whack.
because the Atlantic's really
Yeah,
tight when you look at the
I just
Lightning, the Leafs, and the
I don't trust the
Panthers.
Leafs.
I don't trust them either, but they actually look pretty
But
good right
they, I
now.
know, but that's why I'm like, I don't want to like have like, I don't want to like be like, yeah, you have a chance, and then it's like, never mind.
I will say that
Um,
Atlantic 1 position is really important because like
is
you're
yes,
not going to get like the division title unless the Capitals just lose every single game. I think like mathematically A1 can beat M1 in that scenario,
yeah,
but like you're gonna that
and you want the home
matchup,
ice.
whoever's A2, A3, that's gonna
Mm-hmm.
suck. That's gonna
I know,
suck so hard.
but like that's when I'm kind of like, you're. It's just crazy when you look at. I feel like usually there's like a balanced out like. Here's your really good team. Here's your team that they're gonna beat and they're gonna walk through and whatever. No offense to the Isles. It usually is the Isles against the Canes, etc.
But
But
when you look at Kane's Devils, that's a matchup
that's what I
we're
mean.
not super
Like,
accustomed to, which will be nice and
yeah,
refreshing.
it's just
Um,
crazy to me that some teams that you know have the capability of winning the cup are going to be out so early, which I know is like that happens every year, but I feel like this year, like a Dallas Colorado first round matchup is usually you get it second round, maybe if you get to the Western, like I think they've no, that would be I can't remember. Anyway, it's
I'm
just
gonna just for like shits and giggles right now.
what are you doing?
I want to pull up the standings to see what would happen if
Oh,
we had a 116
ooh,
because I feel like that's the only way
who is it
that
actually?
we're getting happy people in this
Oh
scenario.
my God, that'd be crazy if you did that way. I also still can't believe we are almost in April and there's only three teams that have
I know.
clinched into the
It's a
playoffs.
little crazy. All right,
Like, what are you all doing?
sharing
Losing
my screen
games.
again. Okay. So if
Yay!
we did a 116 currently as it stands, it would be Winnipeg, Vancouver, Washington, Ottawa, Dallas, New Jersey,
Oh my God, I'm so
Vegas.
sorry, Devils. That'd be terrible. That'd be so bad for them.
Um, but this is what okay, so then Vegas, St. Louis,
Yeah.
Colorado, Minnesota, Carolina, Edmonton would be
Ooh,
interesting.
that'd be a good one.
Toronto, LA, Tampa, Florida. So,
Tampa, I love how no matter what, either way, you still get the Tampa Florida matchup. Like,
but like
they don't
looking
care.
at this, which this one is updated as of like the games that are present as
Yeah,
of
so the Canucks are still
5 p.m.
playing, but yeah,
on Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah. This is the West is stacked because if you're like, oh, that's crazy. That's
Wait,
horrifying
I'm counting.
actually.
One, two. It's only seven of the 16 are Eastern. Am I counting right? Oh, I forgot the leaves. Hold on.
One, two, three, four,
It's like
five,
half.
6, 7, 8,
Eight?
9 are
Oh my God.
um
But the top
Western,
half of that,
but the top
top
half is
five,
West. Yeah.
is literally just the Caps
Well, the
on
Caps,
the
yeah.
Eastern side.
But like that's rough.
That's crazy. That's
But
actually
that's
insane.
also why
Like,
I say a 116 would kind of be fun because
also though,
you're like with all due respect to like the Blues, the Wild, and the Devils and the Senators and the Canucks, like the Devils have fallen off completely this
you
year
get
and
the
they don't
worst ones.
no, but like you're looking but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You look at that like bottom five of teams and you're like, okay, do you actually deserve to be in the playoffs this year or did you just like have like a good run at a certain point in your
That's what
season?
I mean.
And
Yeah.
everyone else is so mediocre
That you
because
made it. Very true.
you have people in the playoffs because if you look at it with the wild card, I can pull that up too. You're looking at teams that are in the playoffs with the Devils are at 0.567. Like
Yeah.
no. No.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna.
the Canadians are at 5-2-7. Like that should not be playoff material. And then but then when you have
Very
in the
true, but
West, no one who's in the top 3 is below a 6 and the wild cards are both above 5-8.
yep.
So, but what's also interesting is that when you do it this way, the Canucks are in the playoffs and the people who miss the playoffs here are the Canadians.
Yeah,
If you do a
because
1/16 as
they
opposed to the wild card scenario.
say the regulation wins, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. What I was gonna say too, we can't, which I don't know if you believe it, if anybody believes it, but the President's Trophy curse is alive and well, and whoever takes that, whether it be the Jets or the Caps, you can, I guess, get
Oh,
around it,
hold
and it
on.
has happened.
By the way,
But
Vancouver just has more points than Calgary and Montreal. So they're just in there. Like if
oh
we're
yeah,
going
they are ahead of
1/16.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's why they're ahead of yeah. I was like, wait, what are you talking about?
No, if you're looking at it,
Yes,
it's Winnipeg and Washington are pretty close. Washington has a game in hand and they're at 103. Winnipeg's at 104. And
yeah, because the Caps lost today.
I don't have an updated strength of schedule um
Let me see.
currently,
I think the Jets.
but I want to say
Why does my computer think I want the NBA? I don't even
well
watch the NBA.
the Jets have all Western teams
Okay, here we go.
um
Oh, we love Tankathon.
on
All
their
right, you want to know who
schedule.
has the easiest? Wait, sorry, that's the hardest. Oh, you want to know who has the easiest? The Devils.
Yeah, of course they do.
They do. The hardest is Detroit, which rip. Vancouver's third. Rangers and Isles are 5 and 6. Columbus is eighth.
Well, so
Who
where are
else is in
Washington
there?
and Winnipeg when you look at them?
Washington is the third easiest. So it goes Jersey, Philly, Washington, and then Winnipeg is the 11th hardest.
Okay.
So
Um,
good news. I well,
well, because if you're looking at it for Washington, they're playing Boston and then Carolina twice, the Islanders twice, and the Blue Jackets twice.
yeah.
And then when you look
I
at it
think
for
that's the
Winnipeg,
thing
they're
that it's
playing
gonna come down to like the last game.
probably. But when you look at it for Winnipeg, they have like all different teams. And it's basically like the entire West is who they're playing. So,
Yeah. That's actually crazy. Yeah, they have like one against everyone.
but so here's the thing. The Capitals have an easier
Schedule.
schedule theoretically,
Yes.
but they're also like, if you want to say that the Islanders are still fighting for a playoff spot, they have the Islanders twice and the Blue Jackets twice.
Hmm.
Those teams are probably going to be like working
Yeah.
their asses off to try to get into playoffs,
But
whereas
they
the
could also
Capitals are down
play,
there.
yeah, they're gonna play if you again, if you want the President's Trophy, but they're also gonna play spoiler because whoever like either of those teams could end up being who they would play. So if you really don't, I mean, however it works out. But I just it happened last year too where it got down to like game 82 and teams were not like the thing with the Penguins where they didn't make it because they had 2 games to win. They lost to the Blackhawks and then the Philly empty netter
I am
with
never, ever, ever going to be more annoyed than with what happened with Philly and Detroit last
I was
year.
gonna say that was the crazy. I remember sitting at
You're
work and you were
lucky.
like, "Oh my God."
You're so lucky I didn't have your phone number at that point. I was incensed because I really wanted Detroit to make the
Yes.
playoffs. And the fact that like
The fact I didn't even know or whoever Philly didn't know. Yeah, and that's why yeah. It was like the most insane
I just because
turn of events.
I'm watching it and I'm watching Detroit
I
do
could have
like
imagined how
fight for
mad you
their
are.
lives.
Yeah.
And
Oh, your
then
season's ruined.
I'm
Empty netter.
watching Philly pull their goalie and going,
No,
but
God.
like
I can see you just being like, "Are you for real?
I
Is
have
this really happening
never
right now?"
wanted to fire a head coach more because I'm looking at it going, you have
Well,
nothing
guess
to
what?
live for here. Yeah, he's gone. But in my head,
It
I'm like, you
kind
have
of
nothing to live for here. Like
no,
someone
it
on the
doesn't even
bench
mean
had to
anything.
have told Philly, like, you can't make the playoffs anymore.
Yeah.
like
Do
et
this and
cetera,
you
et cetera,
ruin.
do this,
Yeah.
whatever. No, you pull the goalie, you ruin Detroit's chance. I was so mad. Okay,
Yep.
for reference, I'm not a Detroit fan. I like certain players on Detroit, and also I think it would have been fun to see them in the playoffs. I was so
I still feel like that's what it's going to come down to this year.
no, it absolutely is.
Like
It
when you have all those
absolutely
Metro
is.
teams playing each other that often at the end, it's gonna be I'm not prepared. Like it's gonna be exciting, but I'm also like, oh my, it's gonna be the same thing. And a similar I'm hoping not a similar situation, but something like that where someone moves into a playoff spot and then whoever plays later, who knows what happens, but
Well, I just
it is tight.
the Rangers are in like a bad spot because they have to win.
And they've played the most games,
Yeah, but they have to win
which
basically
sucks for them.
everything, and their last three games are Carolina, Florida, Tampa.
Yeah.
Like,
Not very good.
come on. But also, they play on the 17th at 7.
Yeah.
The Islanders play on the 17th at 7, and they play the Blue Jackets. Like,
Yep. And well, the
if
Caps play
the
that day, but they play the Penguins, so
but
that
if the
doesn't affect anything.
Rangers knock themselves out, like that
That's what I
Islanders Blue
mean.
Jackets game could literally decide, and like that's
That's crazy. Oh, I'm so excited. I like hate it at the same time because I have to keep track of it all the time,
yeah.
and I'm like, it's so like flip-floppy. But at the same time, I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I want it to be chaotic because like in the West, we're not gonna get that. Everybody, it's if someone catches the Blues, you'll move in. That's it. It's not gonna be like here's 10 teams.
Do
You
you
already
think
have
the Wild
three of
still
them.
make it, or do you think that they drop out?
I feel like they didn't make it last year, right? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna double check. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Um, it's really bad that I don't remember. I don't think they did.
I'm trying to remember. It
Um,
was LA, Edmonton.
no, they did not. The Predators and Golden Knights were your
Okay,
wild cards last year
thank
because
you.
Vancouver won the Pacific.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
This whole season is
wild.
backward.
It's like insane. Um, I don't know. I feel like they could pull it together if they I know they're supposed to get Kaprizov and Eriksson back, which would help, but I also don't think if
Pause.
they make it
Pause.
very far. What? What?
I thought you were about to say they were gonna get
What? Capri Sun? No! That's not his name is Kaprizov.
but
Alright,
I
I
was
like
like
that though. Capri Sun.
in my head I'm like, how does
Does
a
anyone
brand
call him
deal?
that?
I don't know, but they should.
I feel like they should.
But in my head I'm like, how does getting a brand deal with Capri Sun?
Wait. Wait, but I need to know if Kaprizov knows what a Capri Sun is. Like, is he aware? No, you're right. Minnesota Wild. I'm gonna tweet them. Be like, can I ask you a very serious question? I need to know. That's so funny.
Here's the
No,
problem is sometimes when I start laughing I can't stop.
the Capri Sun. I can't. The way you fully believed I was going that way too. I love it. I was like,
Just didn't know where you were going.
no. I mean, yes, at the same time, because now I
Ooh.
want a Capri Sun, but no. Oh my God, that's actually the
Ooh.
first time I put that together too. I love that. I can't. It's just so good. Anyway,
Okay. So you think Minnesota does
Capri Sun.
you think that they're gonna stay?
Can we name the episode like what's the like tropical punch like the Capri Sun like flavors? What's the really good one that everybody likes? I forget what it is. Anyway,
My abs hurt.
um what? What to say? We're losing it. We're losing it. We are losing it.
My abs hurt.
Oh, I didn't hear what you said. And I was like, what happened?
Okay.
Um, yes. My short answer to this question is yes. Because it would mean either Vancouver or Calgary catching up, and I don't know if it is possible, but neither of them are playing again well
Mathematically
enough to do
possible.
it.
So again, if
Yeah.
we're looking at, I will share my screen again. We are back on this screen. If you were missing it, we are looking at Calgary and Vancouver. So Vancouver has a 15.5% chance to make the playoffs, and Calgary has a 17.2%. The Minnesota Wild are at 83.5, and the Blues are at 85.3, which is funny because they're in opposite spots, but it's fine. Um, and like Utah has like a 0.4%.
I love it. You know what? Did they score yet? I'm gonna look right now.
So
They're
like
playing.
they're not down and out, but they're basically out.
They're basically
But the, like
they haven't
the race
been
in the
eliminated
West
yet.
is definitely a lot tighter than it is in the East.
Did not score. It is scoreless with Chicago. Come on. Anyway.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
don't think anyone's gonna jump, but like they could definitely. What's the strength of schedule for Minnesota and the Blues?
Minnesota. Minnesota is, oh God, I gotta count. One, two, three, four, five, six, eighth easiest.
Okay.
Utah, ironically, is right behind them. And the Blues, I gotta find. Oh, they're like right in the middle. Like
Okay.
16th easiest. So really not that easy, I guess, but middle of the pack. Because they play Jets, Avs, Oilers, and then their non-playoff teams are Kraken, Pittsburgh, Detroit, and Utah. But those are really, I wouldn't want to play those three teams, like the playoff teams. Anyway, I don't know. And then where's Vancouver on? Vancouver has the third hardest, so I'm so sorry to maybe.
I'm so sorry,
It's
Quinn
a
Hughes.
chance, but like, yeah, I'm so sorry to everybody over there. I wish you the best, but that
Quinn and
doesn't
Jack can go like
look
have an early
positive.
summer in Michigan while Luke is
Yeah, they're like,
fighting
Luke,
his
you have
ass off in the
go.
playoffs.
That's his first. Oh my God, but it'll be Luke's first time in the playoffs. Nope, he played when he NHL debut. I mean, like last year they weren't in it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Full, like you're there, and I always forget that
Hold on.
when people make
Speaking of
their debuts.
NHL debuts that might have like an insane playoff run, Jimmy Snuggerud
Oh yeah,
going to the
by the time you
Blues.
guys hear this, he will be playing the game on Monday, or not the game. He will be
Well,
with
no,
the Blues on
he is
Monday.
joining the Blues on Monday. Um,
I don't know if they
I'm
play Monday,
so
but
excited for that kid. He is,
it's gonna be crazy.
I hate like,
They
okay,
do not. They
there have been
play.
a lot of comparisons within like hockey media of like person
They
A to
play
per.
the Red Wings on Tuesday.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
Yeah. So just letting you know. Anyway, sorry.
They're going from like person A to person, be like whatever, whatever. I think that Snuggerud has the potential to do something like what Chris Kreider did when he joined the Rangers after his college season
Ooh,
ended.
okay.
Um,
I love it.
I think the Blues are already in like a really good spot to
See,
have
that's
like
why I'm
a decent.
scared of St. Louis. Like, they're already on this run, they're already good, and then you're adding like this insanely like yeah, you have to gel with the team, but that only adds to how like adds to your incentive to play well because you're now in the playoffs, you're making your NHL debut. The team like I'm scared. Like I don't know. That's I'm very I
Yeah.
after watching him in what, two World Juniors now? Two? It's gotta be two. I love when they like get to actually come over. I make it seem like they're coming from like Europe. Some of them are, I guess. But I mean, like when they go from college and then you're like, oh my God, you're here and all that. I just love. It's so fun. It's always ends up being this time of the year, like when it's playoff time. So, but that's like their most anticipated prospect. So it should be very fun for them, at least in St. Louis.
If I was a St.
Not
Louis
fun for
Blues
anybody playing
fan,
them.
I'd be thrilled right now.
Oh, I'm
You're
sure they are.
on
Again,
like it just has to be like fun because I feel like they're like we were talking about this a while ago. Like, oh, okay, with the San Jose Sharks. I
yes.
love that their hashtag on Twitter is the future is teal.
Yeah.
I think because also like we've focused on how like there's like this pressure for Bedard to do so well like immediately.
Yes.
And whereas like Mac and like Smith are kind of just like having more fun. And like there's
Yeah.
less pressure to be like bring back the franchise because I feel like they're doing it better. So I'm like, oh, like the future is teal. We're gonna get there eventually.
Yeah. I think
Um,
Philly tried to do the same thing. I think theirs is like the new era of orange
yeah,
or something like that. Um,
that was like their
but
rebrand
yeah,
last year.
yeah, yeah. But I know that it's so, and I'm like, oh, it's so fun. Like the Sharks are so good with that. Like when they did the whole Calderbrini thing, I'm like,
Yeah,
whoever thought like, I know it's not that hard, but
but
I'm like, I love it.
I do hope that the people in St. Louis do protect Snuggerud because like
Yeah.
he's gonna have pressure to show up and do so well, and if he doesn't perform the way that they, so I also think that St. Louis might be like a nicer
I was gonna
fan
say,
base.
that
Um,
and like it's a market that I hate to say it, not a lot of people care about unless you're in St. Louis. Like Chicago, I'm so like Chicago, and I don't care. It's somehow when you're always hearing about San Jose, I guess is too a little bit, but to me, like it's St. Louis. Like I pay attention. I have to pay attention to at work, but I'm like, okay,
yeah,
you're over there hanging. Okay, so at least you don't
you're
have to
not
come in the pressure of that part.
you're not joining a franchise that like the public eye, like you're not gonna end up on
Yeah,
like the Pat McAfee show
there's
if you're on
no
St.
original
Louis.
six
Yeah,
essence of it. Yeah, yeah, you're just some guy in St. Louis playing hockey, which I think works out. That's
and
probably so much better too for a young kid like coming in.
mhm.
So I think I'm sure there'll be pressure, but I think because of the market and the fan base, it'll be a little like they're gonna be so happy he's there that
Well,
they're just gonna be like, okay.
another one that's gonna be kind of insane. Oh, actually, I should check the score before I say this out loud. Please hold.
I was like, which one are you going with?
I like don't know if the game has started yet or not. It hasn't started. It's at 7.
Mm, 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 mm.
Um, Zeev
I was gonna say,
Boyum,
yeah, yeah,
Zeev
you got
Boyum.
it.
I always think I'm saying it wrong.
Correct.
Okay,
No, well, it sounds like you would say it wrong, but like it's because it is very unique. But
that
yeah, you
kid's
got it.
gonna be a
Yeah. But like this is my favorite part where like
adding him to
you start
Minnesota
seeing,
is gonna be like
yeah,
I was originally very disappointed when he got drafted to Minnesota because I wanted him. I think also
they knew what they were doing.
no. Not that he got drafted to Minnesota. I think that like the people in the circle that like follow him and like work with him
Hmm.
were I think everyone thought he was gonna go a little bit higher.
Yes, I want to say.
And then I think like the last year's draft was weird. Like Seneca getting drafted as high as he did was definitely like a
Bl-
shock. And
Crazy.
then Boyum going like a little bit lower, but like still a good draft pick. And him going to Minnesota, I think is going to be really fun to watch.
Yeah.
So,
I
like
again, this
especially
is
like
my
with
favorite.
their younger kids that are there,
That's what I mean. Like
I'm excited for that.
I feel like I almost said Nashville. Not not the right team. Same division, not the right
Definitely
team.
not Nashville.
Minnesota's got they have like a nice they've well rounded it out where they have a nice amount of veterans that are like long term, played with the team, whatever, they've have the experience. And then it's like Brock Faber, Matt Boldy, like you've got the
I really
young talent
like,
coming in now.
I don't
What?
know. Okay, we talked about like Anaheim. I texted you this that the Rangers announcer was like Anaheim's gonna take
Oh yeah.
over. And I was like, not
Take
yet.
over. It sounds like those are like the NHL. Mine. The
Yeah.
Anaheim Ducks, every team in the league.
Disney just buys the NHL. Um,
Literally.
no, I think that Anaheim definitely has potential. They have a lot of really good skaters.
Yeah. But they're still steps away.
Minnesota's a team that I do see getting up there. I think especially like when you look at teams in the West and you're looking at like the Predators are going to need to do another whole like reassessment of their team and their contracts because this season was
Yeah.
such a flop. Um,
Such a flop.
I think that
True.
if Winnipeg doesn't win this year, you're looking at definitely like a little bit of
If
restructuring.
Winnipeg, what I don't even know if they don't win. If they don't make it, if they have a repeat of what happened to them
If they
last
don't
year,
make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, I feel like there's going to be like a
I
whole
don't want to
issue.
be in Winnipeg. Yeah, like I don't know what's gonna happen.
But
That's another one where I'm
I
like,
think
you
that the
have to
West
do
is
it.
going to see some movement in the offseason because
Yeah.
Dallas is definitely doing really well. Colorado's
What?
doing well. But I think when you look at like the Canucks and the Flames, they're not doing as well as they want to do. And Canucks, especially
Yeah.
from last year to this year, it's like, oh, that's a problem. And also like everything internal happening with the Canucks needs to get fixed before next season.
Yes. Yeah.
And you're looking at like a big shakeup, I think, for certain teams in the West if they don't win this year or if they don't make it to the Cup final.
Yeah. Which is again crazy,
And so I feel like
but
if like that could go to Minnesota's advantage, you're adding another like really fantastic player in Boyum, and
mhm.
you are, you have like a young core that I think they can really like build around and foster,
Yeah.
and
Their biggest problem,
we'll see where they can go from that.
I also think, similar to the Devils, they are never 100% healthy.
No.
They literally always have somebody out. If you don't, if you're not out long term, you've missed games. Like it is just, I think if they had Kaprizov and Eriksson the whole like the entire season, it would have. I feel like it would have been a way different playoff picture
It's possible, yeah.
in the Central. Like, and that's what happened last year. Like everybody wasn't healthy, so however it pans out, I think that's part of it too, is just getting everybody to actually, you have your full lineup, you run your full lineup 95% of the time. That's helpful. Of course, you can't control that, but I think that's one of their biggest downfalls. Also, my favorite thing about Minnesota after the season, they have like $14 million or whatever it is coming back to them in cap
Yeah,
space.
they got room.
So if you get that much money back, there's no way you don't do something.
I okay. Also, when we're looking at like Detroit, Philadelphia, and Minnesota looking at next year,
Yes.
goaltending's a problem.
Yeah. Also, oh my God, I just cried about this the other day about how Fleury's not going to be there anymore. So you need a backup. I don't even know who they have in the system,
But so, not
but
anyone that I think is notable enough to
no,
pull them to like a championship.
no.
And I have a hot take.
Okay.
You know how everyone was
Gonna
saying
make
that
some
like
like,
Marchand should go back to Boston in the offseason?
yeah.
I think Alex Lyon should go back to Philadelphia in the offseason.
Oh my God, I forgot that he was. That's right. Yeah. They would probably. They could use him,
They could
and
use
also like
him,
it's not a lot of money.
and I think that no, it's not a lot of money. He could definitely go for like
What does he get paid now? I'm gonna look it up.
minimum.
What? No way. The
I'm
775.
no, I think he's at 8.
I was gonna say what the. There's no way. Oh my God, it's 900.
Okay.
But still, that
I'm like
that's
he's
actually so
under a million.
surprising to
Yeah.
me. Oh my God.
But I think if you take a kid like
What?
Alex Lyon, you move him to a franchise that maybe has a different goalie coaching system.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know whether that is Minnesota or it is the Flyers. I don't think that he is getting what he needs in Detroit because he was really good when he was in Florida, enough to get them to the playoffs. And then he
Yeah.
had a really bad playoff run.
I feel like he fit really well in Minnesota because their defense is way better than Phillies. I'm so sorry again. I feel like I say things and I'm like, I know it's a fact, but like I hate
No,
saying
but
it about
I
your
I
team.
think if you take a kid like Alex, you give him what, like 1-2, 1-5?
Probably.
You
Maybe
could
even
give him
2.5.
2.
Yeah,
Yeah. You're giving him a really low contract for like what, 3 years maybe? You
probably.
develop him the right way with a
Also,
good
that means
defense, you're set. Because that
that,
kid's
and then
good.
you get to have him kind of like coach whoever you want to take over as your franchise goalie after, so you don't have to worry about the whole like ushering somebody in completely new as a rookie. You've given them the time, so that would also help not only like him getting the chance, but like then the future of you as your team's goaltending going forward too.
Yeah.
Smart business plan. You're thinking.
Yeah.
Say hi, Philadelphia Flyers. I have an idea for you come July 1st. You should listen. Thank
Just
you very
saying.
much.
Just saying.
No, it's really smart. It is. Um, yeah, that's another thing I think we talk about it too across the league. The goaltending is just not good. Whatever happened to the goalies from like last season, I feel like was way better. Enough. that you had like multiple goalies in the Vezina. Like if we had to do Vezina today, I'd be like, Connor Hellebuyck, you're the only person.
You don't even know how
Who
you
else?
pick another goalie.
That's what I mean. Who else would I even put in that conversation? Oh, sorry, Dustin Wolf, because he's probably not going to win the Calder.
No, and
I'd
I
put him
would
in
I
there,
would put Wolf in there, but that's it. Oh,
but that's
Ovechkin
yeah.
scored. One of us has to tweet
How?
about it.
That game's over, is it not?
I don't know. I just got the notification. Hold on.
That game?
We have to go tweet
Oh no,
about it
it's
real quick.
not. No,
Please
it's
hold.
not. It's real. It is real. It's 6-4. I'll do it.
Okay. While we're on the topic of goalies, real quick. When you're fighting for a playoff spot, put your number one goalie in a back-to-back.
Yes.
The Rangers are a slightly different situation because Quick is
They
a
left him on top line.
amazing. I'm so happy for Rut.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Sorry.
um,
Penguins.
no, it's we can get to that in a second because I'm thrilled for that kid. But just you like Igor Shesterkin and Jonathan Quick are a very different situation because they are both fantastic goalies. And
Yes.
Igor is not making 11.5 yet. Next year, though, I don't want to hear it. Get your ass in for a back-to-back. The Islanders, no excuse. Absolutely no excuse to not
No.
put Sorokin in again.
Nope. And
Like,
also, it was more than 24 hours because that game was like, what, 2 p.m.
no, but
yesterday?
if you still had Varlamov in,
Yeah.
maybe. I could maybe see you putting Varley
Very.
in. You are not putting Marcus Hogberg in when you are
They
fighting for a
did.
playoff. They
Spoiler
do not
alert.
care. They do not care. You have 2 goals on 7 shots. Are you kidding me?
Yes. You know what? I feel so bad. Like, not that I'm a paying season ticket member to any team, but I feel as if you are a season ticket member for the Isles. I don't know what you're doing. What?
I'm just mad. What are you saying? Oh, if you have
Like,
season ticket.
yeah, for the Isles, I would be like, I'm so sorry, I'm done. Because, like,
Um, I think
what?
they're struggling with it.
No. But, like, for stuff like that, where, like, not that they're home today, but it's situations like that where, like, as a team, you should be able to make that decision that, hey, we care about the playoffs, because, like, you should a little bit when you're, like, have less than 10 games left and you need to get in the playoffs. But
They
I don't run
scored
it. Oh, did they? Again?
on 3 shots on goal.
Oh my God. Who's in net for Carolina? Oh, it's got to be. Oh no, that goal was there before.
Kochekov?
Yeah,
I didn't see it. I didn't see there was no there was 2 shots on goal when I looked at
I
first.
did not see it. I did not see it. This is like the most insane one. Why is it not giving me?
I love when we record when there are like 7 games happening.
I know. Oh yeah. Wow, 1 goal on 2 shots. Oh, sorry, 3 now.
Um,
Love. It's great.
I don't know.
Goaltending optional.
I don't know that the goaltending necessarily got worse in the NHL. I don't know that every goalie is with the right goalie coach.
Ooh, good point. Yeah, especially with the shuffling around and where you end up. Yeah.
So like something I would love to see. So something I would find really interesting.
Yes.
The goalie coach for the Rangers,
Yeah.
Mr. Jeff Malcolm,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. former Yale Bulldog Natty champion, shutout Yale Bulldog.
Yeah.
What if, and I'm not saying that like Alex is going to the Rangers, and I'm not saying that Jeff should leave the Rangers either. But
Hypothetically.
like hypothetically,
Not hypothetically.
If we could get Malcolm to go over to like Minnesota, and we could get Alex to go
To
over to
run a clinic.
Minnesota,
Yeah.
I wonder how that would go if you have like because Jeff graduated in 2013 and
I'm gonna go with it.
Alex played, oh my God, did he start? No, he didn't. He was a 2013 start, I think. I'm looking it up. Please hold.
I would say I can look it up if you want me to, but
Okay, yeah, Alex was a 2013 start, so he started the season after Malcolm, which I will tell you, as a Yale fan, was so refreshing because like
love
we
it.
loved Malcolm, but Malcolm had his issues,
Oh,
And
as
then
everyone does.
when we got Alex, we were like, this kid is amazing. This is lovely.
We'll take
And
it.
then when he left to go play in Philly, we rioted. And then when Philly didn't play him, we rioted some more.
Again. Yeah, that's an interesting point though, because
But like they
I
both
don't.
had a lot of success when they were at Yale. And so I wonder if like similar styles of coaching, like if Jeff would then be able to coach Alex like a little bit better than whatever he's receiving in Detroit. Just like
Yeah.
a
No, no, you
thought.
mean
Like I wonder like
interesting
if we're
process
having like
too.
David Carl come up and coach the NHL, like if he then ended up coaching any of his kids
Yeah,
or any of his like
good
USA
point.
kids, like would that
Hmm.
be better then because you're already used to a certain kind like I don't know. I just like it's
Yeah,
an
well, we kind of made
interesting.
the argument with Seattle because they took both. Obviously, I always say his name wrong. Tim Bla Seattle's head coach. I'm gonna
Okay.
butcher the last name. I'm not gonna say it. And Jess Campbell, both moved directly from AHL to NHL.
Mhm.
And I know there aren't a lot of the Coachella players that are on Seattle's regular roster, but I also think that's helped because like when they moved over, Shane Wright became like an NHL regular pretty much this season, and he actually did so much better than he was when he had played a couple games in the previous seasons. And I feel like that's on the testament to be like you're used to the system, you know how it works. It's just a different
But like
environment,
I think
I
it's the
guess.
same thing with where you have like half of these kids from Michigan are on the Devils.
Yeah.
And it's like
Well,
you'd
who's
have
the
to
other one?
think you'd
There's
have to
another team
think
I was
that
saying
like
that.
Hughes, Casey, and Edwards would like work well together because they
Yeah,
did in
because again,
college.
they know. Yeah. Oh my God, who is
Which, by the way, Bree and I got cut off earlier. Rucker McGroarty is playing on a line
oh
with Sidney Crosby, and that was like confirmed,
top
which is what
line?
we were talking
Yes,
about.
started.
Really happy for him. Um,
That's a whole other thing in Pittsburgh, but leave
uh,
that to another day.
well, they also have Koivun
I don't know how to say it.
Koivunen.
Yes, NHL
Um,
debut.
yeah.
We love it. We had so many today. We had two in Chicago.
I
Oh
need
my, it's 3-1 Jets now.
I need every single this
I hate the
episode has
Canucks.
gone.
I'm so sorry.
Um,
Vancouver, wake up. I'm gonna start shaking them. Like like with the girl from Nemo with the fish.
yes.
That's how I feel. That's what I want to do. Anyway,
Who do the Devils play tomorrow, by the way?
the Wild. And then the Wild play the Rangers the next day.
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes. Both because they're doing their little trip around. So, yeah.
Tomorrow's gonna be the last time I watch Fleury play in person.
If he plays, I thought he was gonna.
Probably. If he plays,
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
probably.
cry. I literally have tears in my eyes.
I know. I hate it. I literally hate it. I'm like, why do you have to? I know you have to retire at
Oh,
some point, but I'm like, stop.
no, it just makes me so
Don't
sad.
do it. Don't do that. Can you just play
Oh, I'm
forever and
literally
ever?
crying.
No, we've gone through like all the emotions in this one.
Also, you guys
Literally.
missed like the 40-minute conversation we had before we recorded where there was just a lot of anger happening.
I showed off my shirt that is way too big,
Yeah, that was
but
funny.
free.
The little
Yeah.
Kith shirt. Yeah.
Yes. I actually didn't enjoy. Sounds like I'm saying it purposely like that, and I'm like, or not
Kith.
purposely like that. Yeah.
Like it's a lisp. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. I
I
thought,
had to explain to my mom what it was. Like, it's a clothing company. I don't know
yeah.
how else to explain it to you, but yes, my
Speaking
free
of
shirt.
clothing companies and New York and cute fun stuff, I love that TikTok and Twitter have discovered that you can like get stuff embroidered at the NHL store.
Oh my God, wait. I love, so number one, I've always wanted one, but they're like, it's so expensive to do it. So I do not own one. Although I'm
How much is it?
smart, it's like $60.
Oh,
Hat and embroidery.
what did you want embroidered?
I don't even remember. It was a Rangers one because they have all like the little things.
I
Anyway,
have an embroidery machine.
my point is, I might just bring. I already have the hats. I might instead of buying the hat, be like, "Hey, can you just embroider this?" Anyway, um,
I have an
on to if
embroidery
you're not
machine.
on the internet, you're all missing the Snoopy Hughes, uh,
It's
discourse
so
about
cute.
Luke. It's about
I
Luke.
love it.
But somebody tweeted, so everybody's obviously Hughes Bowl was on Monday. Everybody who came in for Hughes Bowl went to the NHL store, or a lot of people did. And the guy who was working the embroidery thing at the store, someone walked up and they like picked up a Luke or a Devil's hat, and they're like, "Hey, can I get like this X Snoopy?" Because there's like a lot of different Snoopies you can pick from, and like now I want one.
Yes.
And the guy was like, "What is going on? Like I've had like so many Snoopies in the last week. Like what's happening?" And I was like, "This man has literally no idea." And the
The
girl like
Capitals are going to
explained
make a
that.
comeback.
Yeah, I know it's almost tied.
It's 5-6 now.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm so
yeah,
sorry. I keep
it's like
interrupting you.
the little embroidery. They have ones for every team. Someone brought up, which is the one I should do. Um, I don't know where that nickname came from, but the abs call Nate Dog and like or the dog, and I have my little abs hat is chilling up there, and someone was like, just bring that in and like ask him to, and I was like, that's actually so smart. But I didn't have to explain that, and people are gonna be like, I don't care. See number 29, goodbye. But they're all really cute. The Snoopies, I look through all the Snoopies and I want like every single one of them. And you can't get all you can't get all of them on a hat, but I want all of them. They're so cute.
That's why
Anyway,
my like phone background is typically just like a
Snoopy.
different Snoopy for every month.
I love that.
I have to, oh my God, I
Yeah, but
get
they
to
have like the
change it soon.
Snoopies. Oh, there you go. Easter Snoopy?
No,
No.
just a spring Snoopy.
Flowers. Rain.
Maybe if there's like a cute one with like bunny ears, maybe I'll do that. But
Yeah.
like most of the
Yeah.
Easter
You
ones
know what?
aren't cute.
Underrated though? I love Woodstock.
I love him.
He's my fave. I feel like he gets overlooked because he's this little itty bitty bird and it's all about Snoopy, which I get. But like, don't forget about Woodstock over there. He's so cute.
Do you need to talk about something, Bree?
No, I just love
Need to
him.
have
I
a
feel like he's
therapy session?
underappreciated. I say this to my mom all the time, like, nobody talks about Woodstock.
No, he's
Everybody talks
very
about
cute.
Snoopy.
He's adorable. I love him.
Yeah, it's my fave. But like I also have this is how my brain works. If we're calling Luke Snoopy, who's Woodstock?
Seamus Casey.
Oh, wait, wait, that's so wait. I need like a comparison picture now.
Am I wrong?
No, you're so right. I was trying to be like linking it between like Jack or Quinn, but no, that's so confirmed. You heard it here first.
I know Puck,
Oh my
guys.
god. I love that. Actually, so accurate.
Oh,
Whoever
the
came up with
Islanders
the whole
tied it.
idea, iconic. Is that why my watch buzzed?
Yes.
Yes, they told
On a
me.
power play. Oh my God,
Oh
their
my
power
god, it's
play
gonna
did something.
snow. It's gonna snow. Watch out, everyone.
Oop. Matt Rempe is being active on Instagram. Can't wait for everyone to get parasocial again. Love it.
I've had too much of that lately.
Oh,
Goodbye.
yeah, we need to talk about that off pod because I don't know what happened that I missed on
Oh, you don't
Twitter,
want
but I need to know. Um,
it's actually the most insane thing ever.
okay.
It's
Real quick last
anyway.
thoughts because we need to wrap this up
We're
because
just rambling now.
this is I need to cut so much of this out.
Listen,
Jesus
you got
Christ.
basically a live OV goal here.
Yeah.
Well, not live to when you hear this, but
No. But for us,
live
yeah.
reaction of us getting it.
I th the NCAA tournament's been insane.
So good.
Um, UConn upset, Penn State upset. The UMass Western Michigan game definitely had a lot of interesting calls. Um,
That seems to be a
Denver
theme.
Boston is going to be a
Yeah,
bloodbath
but it's
tonight.
gonna be so good. Like in the
And
sense of like
then
watching it.
Penn State and UConn are currently tied. But so by the time this episode goes up, we will know who our Frozen Four is.
Yay!
There's a fuzz. Okay. Um, and it's like I would say the majority of brackets are screwed up because Maine did not win.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um,
Who's the other?
Quinnipiac losing against UConn was rough.
Yeah, there was another one the other
What
day.
hurt?
I can't remember who it was, but yeah,
Well, Western Michigan beating Minnesota State was definitely an upset. Cornell beating Michigan State was an upset. UMass
maybe
beating
that's the one it
Minnesota was an
was.
upset.
Yeah, they're like all upsets, as they should be. That's how we like it, chaotic.
And then like Good job, Bentley, for getting in, but like BC was not gonna let that slide. Um, the
Listen,
fact that
they have to just
Quinnipiac got like
appreciate it.
no, but Quinnipiac got like spanked, and I'm not happy about it.
Well,
Rand Pecknold, I would like to have a word because
call them up too.
what was that?
You know the audio where it's like, what would happen if you just called Taylor up? That's what you need to start doing. Start being like leaving voicemails. Like, I have an idea, and I can do it better than you.
I know people who have his phone number.
I got 7-5 Sabres now.
Oh, okay.
This doesn't even matter to me. I mean, it doesn't. I'm at work, but it doesn't even matter
I'm
to me
like, this
now.
game has no.
It has absolutely. Why do they have 3 goals from defensemen? Oh,
That
that's
was
Sabres. That's not Sabres. Caps.
that was like the Rangers last night. Adam Fox like popped
Yeah.
off.
Okay. We have 2 weeks left. That's not
We have
fun.
3 weeks left. 2.5.
Yeah. Well, yes. If you, yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
By
season
like
ends on the 17th.
calendar,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm distraught.
Yeah. What am I gonna do? Okay.
The playoffs. We're
Yeah,
gonna
the
watch the
playoffs, and then as soon as
playoffs.
that's over, I'm like, okay, we're back in full F1 mode for like a couple months, and then it's literally right back to
I just
hockey
think it's so funny because I
or
complain so
baseball.
often that hockey doesn't last long enough, and then I look at it and I'm
It's
like, it's
literally
literally
almost a whole
just
year.
July and August.
Literally, when I tell people, they're like, "Well, when are you like free?" And I'm like, after free agency starts, and that's July 1st.
Yeah.
And then it's like a nice, by the time it's like September 1st, I'm back to doing things already because yeah. But
We have plans for the summer. There's F1 races and baseball games and tennis
there's lots
tournaments
going
and
on. Tennis. That's
yeah,
right.
I love
I still don't,
tennis.
I understand it enough, but not fully enough.
It's one of my favorite
It's become
sports.
multi-sport athletes in the summer, and then hockey comes back. We're like, never mind, multi-sport athlete on the side.
Well, no, because then football starts.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. We're still all in the sports, but it's like over here, and then hockey's like the main. Well, yeah, I guess football starts soon. It's fine. We're just doing all of it.
Okay.
We're done.
To reiterate what was said at the beginning of the episode, follow, rate, review, all of that lovely stuff. Go follow us on socials if you haven't already. Things are linked down in the
Say
show
hi.
notes. I will also include the links for the strength of schedule and playoff projections in the show notes if you're curious. And we'll see you guys next week with probably a completely different wild
Have
card too
fun.
in the East.
Yeah. Oh my God. We just like take a screenshot today
Yeah, we're getting down
of
to
what
the
it looks
wire
like,
here.
and then what it comes when we're back next week, what it looks like.
I can almost guarantee you it'll be a different team. We'll see what
I know.
happens.
I love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for listening. Be absolutely off the rails because this was
I feel like I need
probably
to
the most
provide
chaotic one we've had.
I feel like I need to provide financial compensation for people who've made it this far. But
I need
unfortunately,
to know
I don't have a
who
job. I don't have a
listened this
full-time
far
job.
in.
So,
It's okay.
yeah, if you listened this far, please like
Please
DM
tell
us or
us
something because I
something.
need to know and I need to know why and then I need to get you into therapy because I feel like this is a problem.
Oh, we're besties now.
Yeah.
That's it.
You are the third member of the podcast now
Yeah.
if you've listened this far.
You're like honorary membership, like a little medal and everything. We can like knight you, you know.
Okay, we're done. We're done. Goodbye. I love you. Bye.
Bye.